It's been a very long time since we did one of these videos. But now, as of today, I can finally say it's making its long-awaited return.
Game on! Send one.
Man, that intro was awesome. I loved it. And I just want to give a very special shout out to my very good friend House, who created that very intro. The guy is super talented and super creative, and I implore you all to check out his channel, which will be linked down in the description of this very video. But let's not waste any more time. Let's get into the meat and potatoes of this video. Let's get to the subject of this very video. Total Drama Island, Season 1, Episode 5. Not quite famous. I feel when it comes to Total Drama Island, some episodes are more infamous than others. Like, when you start talking about Total Drama Island, there are certain episodes that immediately come to mind. This one, for me, being one of them. Now, with this episode in particular, there are a few moments that stick out in my mind. As a matter of fact, some of these moments are some of my favorite moments in the entire show. But I also feel in recent years that this episode has become a little more infamous because in the fans' minds, or at least some of them, this is the first case of Heather's plot armor in this season, which I personally don't buy. But let's not waste any more time. Let's just move straight forward to the episode. The episode starts with some brief banter between Lindsay and Gwen before we immediately jump to the challenge. And this challenge is a summer camp favorite, the talent show. And the challenge of it is simple. Each team must pick 3 of their own to compete in this talent show.
Sing, dance, juggle. Anything goes as long as it's legal.
I love this show.
You'll be judged by our resident talent scout, former DJ, VJ, and rap legend, Grandmaster Chef, who will show his approval via the Chef-O-meter.
Let's go! So as I said, the challenge is simple. If Grandmaster Chef awards one team more points than the other, chances are that team that was scoring the most amount of points wins. Now before we move on, I just need to point out the fact that Izzy is sitting next to Heather's alliance, and it's never acknowledged. I feel people often forget about this because it's never directly addressed. Whether she joined off screen or she just randomly decided that she's a part of the alliance, it doesn't matter. Izzy is a part of the alliance. But trust me, we will see more of this dynamic later on in the season. But the team split up to decide their 3 that are going into the talent show to represent them.
A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z.
We see Heather take charge of her team, and this is something that she will do throughout the season. Lindsay and Beth immediately go along with it because, you know, alliance. And by Heather herself, Lindsay and Beth are forced to put Heather in the talent show with her ballet routine. We also see slight moments of growth in the relationship between Gwen and Trent, and Heather picks up on this too. Heather tells Lindsay to follow Gwen around and see if she does anything suspicious. I don't know why you would ask Lindsay out of all people to do it, but Heather just doesn't like Gwen. Lindsay immediately begins doing so, but she gets more distracted by, other things. But before all this, we cut to the Killer Bass side to see what some of their talents are, and, Katie and Sadie's bad dancing, and, Tyler being Tyler, isn't really helping anything. Things do start looking up for the best though with DJ's ribbon routine, which is actually really solid, and hey, he can do that if he wants, and improves balance, alright? I don't see anything wrong with it. We do see, just like the Dodgeball episode, Courtney becoming the de facto leader of the Killer Bass, judging who is going to go through to the talent show. Courtney was initially apprehensive of letting DJ go through to the talent show because I understand she's a judge, but I feel she's judging a little too much. Hater. Jeff is also extremely decent at skateboarding, so he also makes it through to the talent show. So, as of right now, the Killer Bass have their 3 going into the talent show. DJ with his ribbon routine, Jeff with his skateboarding, and Courtney with her violin solo. But before the final decision was made on those 3, Bridget tried to get into the talent show by doing a handstand. This, unfortunately, has future implications later in this episode. If you've seen this episode, you know where this is going. Back on the Screaming Gopher side, Beth nearly kills the Screaming Gophers by doing her flaming baton routine and failing because she didn't take the catching class. Whatever. The bush is on fire though. Wait, I just said the bush is on... Wait a minute, the bush is on fire! Oh, please, anybody could have done that. I could have done that. But after that whole debacle, the Screaming Gophers talent show... After that whole debacle, the Screaming Gophers talent show... But after that whole debacle, the Screaming Gophers talent show team is set. Let's go! I finally got it! Heather with her ballet routine, Trent singing while playing the guitar, and Justin... being Justin. Seriously, what's his talent?
There are 2 syllables for hot. Just and tin. Man, that guy is just so hot I could kiss him. Because he's a good teammate. Oh, why'd I say that?
Oh, that's his talent. We cut to Gwen writing in her journal, and Cody walks by and tries to strike up a conversation with her, which ultimately doesn't work. And then he does something that, just watch the clip.
What part of Beat It don't you understand? What are you, some kind of freak?
You just smell really pretty.
It's just soap.
You know, I've watched that clip so many times, don't ask why, and it just dawned on me that Mordecai did the exact same thing on regular show. Roll the tape.
Don't do anything you're gonna regret. Don't do it!
They even have the same smell! Ugh! I have no words! Do they know how creepy that is? Do they realistically know how creepy that is? Oh my word. I just realized something. Cody is the human version of Mordecai. Cody was Mordecai before there was even a Mordecai! After that very uncomfortable scene, Gwen and Cody come back to see the wreckage that was Beth's failed flaming baton routine. Gwen is very understandably sick of it all, and all she wants to do is be on her own while she goes for a swim. But she's okay if Trent joins her. Once again, Heather picks up on this, and she tells Lindsay that they're going to go search for Gwen's diary, just because she feels that Gwen is planning something. But once again, Heather just doesn't like Gwen. So do you guys remember when I said that Bridget standing on her hands would have future implications later on in this episode? Well, here's part of it. Yes, I said part of it. So it cuts to the stage where the talent show is being held, and a majority of the Killer Bass are already there. Courtney is practicing on her violin while everybody else is just chilling out and vibing. One of the things that I really liked about Island was how simple it was. I can't really explain it, but I really like the vibe of the first season. It's something I feel the rest of the seasons weren't able to capture as well as Island did. Heading back to the episode, the Bass guys just can't believe that Bridget could stand on her hands for 20 minutes. Naturally, this turns into a bet, and Bridget starts standing on her hands, eventually walking on her hands. Big mistake. One of the forgotten traits of Bridget is just how clumsy she is. We'll see more of this in the next episode, but right now she's walking on her hands. But eventually, her feet get entangled within a rope that's holding on to one of the cameras. And you can kind of guess what's gonna happen from here.
Now! Oh, crap!
So, bad news. Courtney's violin is completely destroyed, meaning that she can't compete in the talent show. But the good news is, Bridget can take her place by doing the very thing that broke her violin in the first place. Yay. While Heather tries to steal Gwen's diary back in the cabins while Lindsay is keeping watch, Gwen is just on the docks with Trent just talking to him. Cody, fully knowing that Gwen and Trent were out on the docks together, gets Owen and essentially ruins it, causing Gwen to get even more furious. What a great guy, am I right?
We're a team. Well, I guess you'll go down as a team too. Oh, and easy on the chips. You don't want to sink that surfboard of yours, do you?
Did she just call Bridget fat? Talent show time, baby!
Welcome to the very first Camp Wawanakwa Talent Contest, where 6 campers will showcase their mad skills and desperately try not to humiliate themselves.
Wait, did he just say mad skills? Interesting choice of words there, Christopher. Now, just like the dodgeball episode, the killer bass aren't doing well. Justin earns a decent amount of points being the narcissist he truly is. Trent earns a decent amount of points from Grandmaster Chef after performing his song towards Gwen about Gwen. And DJ, kinda chokes during his ribbon routine. And then there's Bridget. And here's that other part of foreshadowing I was talking about earlier. You guys remember when Bridget was eating a bag of chips in the previous scene? Well, she pays dearly for it. And no, I am not going to show the scene. You want to know why? Because I have a high tolerance for certain things. I can take toilet humor, right? Heck, I can even take fart humor. But Zenny draws the line at barf humor. Oh man, I just realized what I'm gonna have to talk about later in the season. Oh! So yeah, the killer bass are being annihilated by the Screaming Gophers. It seems like it's gonna be an easy win for the Screaming Gophers, until Heather comes onto the stage. Originally, Heather was going to do her ballet routine, a routine that would have been an easy win for the Screaming Gophers, no matter if the killer bass came back at the very end. But sometimes, disdain trumps logic. You guys remember when Heather got Gwen's diary earlier in the episode?
Originally, I was going to dance for you. But instead, I want to celebrate team spirit with a collaboration. She wouldn't.
Oh yes she would, Gwen. Oh yes she would. And she does. Heather goes on to read an excerpt from Gwen's diary. It just so happens to be the excerpt where she confirms her feelings for Trent. Not saying his name, but we all know who she's talking about. So the damage is done. Heather pretty much aired out Gwen's dirty laundry on international television. But for the Killer Bass, it presents an opportunity. Because the Screaming Gophers were doing so well in the challenge, Heather didn't see a reason to even compete in the challenge. So she just threw it. I mean, the Killer Bass aren't going to come back into this game. There's no way they're going to win, right? The Killer Bass still have a chance. It's very slim though. Grandmaster Chef needs to award the final participant a perfect score, but they still have a chance. It's all up to Jeff. If his skateboarding skills are good enough for a perfect score, the Killer Bass can win, but just as he's about to go out there, he breaks his skateboard. This sends the Killer Bass into a panic. The remaining competitors that are left are Katie and Sadie, who are covered in Bridget's puke, Tyler, who is, Tyler, and Duncan, who doesn't have that many legal skills that are gonna win them this game. That just means they have one person left. They don't want to pick him, but they really have no choice. So begrudgingly, Bridget and Courtney send Harold on stage. Now, Harold has nothing to lose, except this whole game for the Killer Bass. With all hope being lost, Harold surprises us all by becoming a beatboxing legend.
Oh! Awesome! Huh. 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 Gosh! Awesome! What? Uh-huh. What? Booyah!
Chris was right when he said that this talent show is meant for people to showcase their mad skills. And Harold certainly did. For the second time in a row, Harold saves the Killer Bass from elimination. This now puts Heather in a very frightening situation. Heather only did what she did because the Screaming Gophers were winning the challenge. Absolutely nobody expected what Harold was going to do on stage, so now she needs to think quickly. She knows she's the main target for elimination, and she also knows that there's no way of getting out of it. Unless she banded some others together to eliminate someone else. Now, people point to this episode as the start of Heather's plot armor in Season 1. And I said earlier in the video that I don't buy that. Before the elimination, Heather had a confessional where she revealed that she banded a couple of others together so that they can vote with her. The person that she's voting for is Justin. Heather revealed that the people that she banded together were Lindsay and Beth, members of her alliance, Izzy, who is a mere associate of the alliance who just joined the alliance, and Owen? Now, they make a joke about this with Heather giving Owen a large piece of cake in order to convince him to vote for Justin, but there's no way. Owen has a man crush on Justin. I know it's played for laughs, but that's very clearly what's happening. Owen wouldn't willingly vote for Justin unless he was under a trance. Here, watch this clip.
I call this the dance of the rattlesnake. Look into my eyes, what do you see?
She's good.
So, that's 5 votes for Justin, and if you're keeping count, there are 10 members on the Screaming Gophers team currently, which would mean that there would be a 5-5 split, right? Wrong.
Wait, I don't play guitar.
Cody definitely voted for Trent. I don't see anything else. I don't believe anything else. And even if there was a 5-5 split, there would have been a tiebreaker, and I don't see Heather losing in that. So what I believe to be a 5-4-1 vote, Justin. is eliminated. It sucks, but Heather remains in the game, and Gwen got a little bit of revenge on her, but this is nowhere near the end of the epic feud between Gwen and Heather. This is one of my favorite episodes in the entire season. I know it kind of sours on people because of the supposed Heather plot armor that happens in this episode, but as I said, I don't believe that, and I gave my reasons as to why I don't believe it. I am deeply sorry for the inconsistent upload schedule, but I can't promise when the next video is going to be coming out. It was nice to go back in time to my humble beginnings, and I truly forgot how fun this is to do. Not the editing portion of it, that part was a nightmare, but just watching this episode again. But that'll do it for this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and also make sure to turn on the bell for all notifications so you don't miss a single video. But until next time, this is the Zen One, signing out.
This is Justin. Thanks, Chris. This is great.
Justin, the anti-me.
Do I think that I ride on my good looks? That I use them to my advantage? Do I think being really, really ridiculously good looking is giving me the upper hand in life? Duh.
Just so you know, we picked you based entirely on your looks.
I'm not just another gorgeous face and abs and butt and shoulders, okay? I'm also a master strategist. This year, I'm in it to win it.
Just so you know, we picked you based entirely on your looks.
Justin, the anti-me.
We picked you based entirely on your looks.
Justin, the anti-me. Justin,
Picked you based
the
entirely on your
anti-me.
looks.
I am going to lose it! Seriously,